Yes, I've just created a documentary, produced my first documentary film on Jim French. Some of you may know Jim was the creator of Colt Studios. He started that company back in 1967, and he was at the helm at it for about 35 years, sold it about 10 years ago, and Jim French is the man behind Colt. He was the man behind every photo that you saw, and any image that in your mind that you may have of a Colt man, it was because of Jim French. Jim was really old Hollywood in a way. He knew some great old folks, and one of the people that he was friends with and hung out with a little bit was George Cukor. And he met some,
George Cukor of?
I think
okay.
He was the director of Gone with the Wind. So you'll have to cut that because I'm not exactly
sure. The wind blows, we'll take that out.
So, he met people like Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy there, and he's told me some stories about them, and they're actually included in the film. But he met George Cukor through Victor Scribnesky, who was his one of the main photographers that Jim was influenced by in his career.
I met Victor Scribnesky through George Cukor. When you had dinner at George Cukor's, celebrity. He knew some fascinating people, and he knew some absolute shits. And at the head of that list is Andy Warhol.
So he met George Cukor from Victor, and one other person that he met at George Cukor's house was Andy Warhol. So Jim was not impressed particularly with Andy
the
Warhol.
Artist.
Yes, the artist, yes. And he thought that, he said that, Andy couldn't draw two straight lines, and, all of his stuff was copied, and, and he got people to eat that shit up, and including George Cukor, there you go. But Jim was not standing for it, and while he thought he was an interesting fellow, he did not appreciate Andy's work all that much. He does talk about Andy Warhol a little bit in the film. So this is one of Jim's models, John Pruitt, of course. Most gay guys know who John Pruitt was if you're a fan of Colt. He was one of Jim's biggest models. Jim liked him very much. He worked with him all the time. He was an easy subject, according to Jim. So good looking, and he could have just literally fallen, and Jim could have photographed him, and it would have been impressive, as Jim says. That is John Pruitt, and that's one of Jim's big boys. So getting to know Jim has been a real joy for me. I was very lucky to have this opportunity to meet him, and the fact that he allowed me to do this film for him was awesome. Something needed to be done. No film has ever been done on Jim, and I wanted to document him, show him to a wider audience of gay guys, especially gay men. Typically, his demographic right now would be gay men over 40 or 50. Because we were the ones around in the 70s and 80s watching those and viewing these magazines. But now the younger gay generation, they just don't know Jim. So I want to introduce them to him and his work. He was an important part of our gay history, and I'm super glad that I got a chance to know him and be a part of his life.